Catalyzing initiative to lead in 2023. Catalyzing initiative. How do you ignite initiative? Initiative is that self-inertia, self-drive. A person who does things without being reminded, who has that passion to be able to make things happen on their own. That is what they call initiative. Now, post-COVID, I don't want to tell you what you already know. We saw what happened in the West. After COVID, Ukraine war happened. I didn't know a Ugandan would suffer because of fuel and having inflation and high prices on commodities because of something happening in Europe. Unprecedented. New times. So my submission today is about how do you catalyze initiative. I will start by giving a quote. I love quotes. My award-winning book number 2 called Inspired by 40 is a book of quotes. I was recently quoted by Oprah Winfrey. One of the quotes in that book about hope. Because during COVID, I was watching what was going on and I said, God, please use me. I'm a small man. No one knows me in the world. You saw what was going on. People dying in Europe. People losing jobs here. Things were tight. So I prayed to God and said, use me. So I wrote quotes, a book of quotes that inspire people and give them hope. That said, this quote is said by John Quincy Adams, who was the 6th president of the United States between 1825 and 1829. He said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. So what is it about initiative? So what about initiative? Today I'm going to unpack the ABCs and Ds of catalyzing initiatives. Number 1, if you have a notebook, take it out. If you have a recorder, record. It's okay. We've been permitted. Agility. You're not going to be able to move forward if you do not approach things with an agile mindset. Why? Before COVID, things were a bit simpler and easier. What is agility by definition? Having that capability and capacity to stretch yourself, to be able to adapt to things in a quick way, but also to be able to be versatile in a way that you can easily shift when things are changing at a rapid pace. I will tell stories. Pele, I love Pele so much. How many of us know Pele? Online and here. Pele, the football legend. Brazil, eh? Yes. I was told, I did some homework. When Amata invited me, I asked him, okay, I'm coming to see you, but in your place there are professors. What will I say? Eh? Whatever I give examples people have not heard of, then they will not connect. Anyhow, we all know the story of Pele, maybe those who don't know. He was voted by FIFA as the best player of the 21st century. Yes, he won a number of accolades because when this man touched the ball, it's as if the ball was synchronized with his heartbeat. Actually, Brazil, the president of Brazil declared him a national treasure, that no other club could hire him. He was that big. It is said he was bigger than the football sport in his time. How did it? He was very agile when he was on the field. He used to play football as if he was born with the ball in his mother's womb. He was very agile, very versatile. He catalyzed initiative. When he was playing on the pitch, if you analyze the soccer, the football games, in the videos you watch, you will see that he would find the ball, he would pass on the ball. He was not selfish, but above all else, he used to ensure he scores for his country. He was very agile. So how do we do it like Pele did it? As much as he was in sports, in everyday today life, there are many things that happen to us. A sick child has come, bills are there to pay. If you have an asset, the tenants are not paying because they've been laid off. Things are tight. How do you balance yourself? It is very hard post-COVID to remain very stable and sober because things seem to be moving at a what? Terrific speed. So agility is called for in catalyzing your initiative. Number 2, aspire. Always aspire to be better. Why? The formulas of yesterday will no longer work for you. That one I can tell you. Guaranteed. Things that you did yesterday may not work today. Why? Because the cheese was moved. How many of us have read the book, Who Moved My Cheese? Hey, the cheese was moved. Things have changed. So you have to aspire to be better. Learn a new skill. Yeah? If you've not done computer science or computer graphics, learn something new. Or at least learn how to fry cassava. Maybe something will happen and you open a small kiosk to supplement your money. Someone gave me very nice sweet saturated ginners. I don't know if it is a business. I was inspired. You know, authors, we pay attention, observation. This ginners is a business. I saw a business in these very sweet ginners.
And you're well done.
Thank you, sir. Aspire to be better. I'll give you the story of George William Kakoma. We all know him, the composer of the Uganda National Anthem.
Yes.
How many of us agree with me that the Uganda National Anthem is a prayer?
It is.
Isn't it a prayer?
Yes.
It has 3 stanzas. How many of us can sing all the 3 stanzas? If you can sing all the 3 stanzas, you have a book on me, a copy. We shall compare notes later. Not now, because I've been given 20 minutes. What was special about his aspiration? People thought maybe just writing down a few words and putting them into a song. I believe at the time, it was a big deal that someone could come up and compose songs. And today, since independence, that song has been sung, has been played everywhere in the world, representing what? A nation. So what is it about aspiration? If he could put it just in a song, okay, I won't say it is just a song, because an anthem is an identity, correct? It's about who you are and the words you're saying about the world, about you. So he was a very good aspiring person. B, believability. I love this because it is said believability will change your narrative as a human being. Everything you do in the world is about you being believable. Why? When people see you, they judge you. People judge a book by the cover, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. The first time they see you, they'll form an opinion, if they like it or not, if you like it or not. Everything you do to be believable, because believability is about authenticity. If I come and tell you that I am going to give you $1 million, how many of you believe me that I can give you $1 million? There are some people laughing in the room because you don't believe me. First of all, I don't look like $1 million. Am I? But if I tell you I'm going to give you a copy of my award-winning book in this room, will you believe me?
Yeah.
Well, you say, So believability. People are always judging. They gauge you. Whether you like it or not. Yes, sister. Thank you. Laugh properly. It has hit a nerve. True. That's life. Everywhere you go in the world, people are looking at you. They say, this one. The neighbors are saying, can this one handle? Can they manage this car? They've just bought a new Harrier. But will they manage the fuel? They'll never tell you, but they're always seeing. So anything you do, be believable. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, when one time he was asked, why did you attempt 1,000 times to invent the light bulb? Let me give you a bit of context. I'm running out of time. I'll finish quickly. It is said that the day this light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison, a revolution was created in the world. Why and how so? The world was only operating during night. People are paying attention. Thank you. Hey, people were operating only during day. Hey, people are paying attention. You have to be alert. Only day. Why? Because 12 hours sunlight. But night, when it came, people closed shop. But when the light bulb was invented, 24 hours was possible for people to do business and everything else they wanted or didn't want. That meant that a revolution was sparked. This man was believed when he said, after 1,000 times of failing, that this time it works. What did he do? He proved. Believability is about proof. If you say you can't show me, people are tired of words, talkers. They say, show me, don't tell me. Show me what is there. As we move on, bravado. In this time, my friend, you have to have guts to dare certain things. Otherwise, how many of us have heard of the word self-sabotage? Self-sabotage. Now, you can Google it. Nowadays, things changed. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you had to look for Macmillan Dictionary. But today you can use Google. The word self-sabotage means a human being or a person always telling themselves they are unable to do something, even when they know they can. Or making excuses that this thing does not work. I am unable to do it because no one in my clan has ever even done it. No, my friend, who has ever even got a degree? Yes, a double. Thank you. That's what self-sabotage is about. So, in this time, COVID passed. We need people to dream again. It doesn't matter your age. I was telling somebody today, 60 years. I'll tell you the story of this gentleman of KFC, Colonel Sanders. The man almost committed suicide. Actually, he did attempt, but he was interrupted. When he retired, he had failed almost all his life at 65 years, 66 years, when he got a pension of less than $100. Can you imagine? He had served in the army, he had done everything he wanted, but only one thing he knew how to do in life was to cook. When the boy came knocking on the door, when he was trying to attempt suicide, he said, but why is this man not leaving me? What does he want? When he went out and found this boy, as he was turning back, how many of us know what Eureka moments are? They only come once in a lifetime. You don't know. An Eureka moment means like you're walking around and you get an idea. It just comes in a split of a second. Or you're closing, you get that idea just comes. You don't know where it came from. It just sparked his mind. And he said, why don't I use this $100, my pension, to fry chicken and sell it? So he fried chicken, went and sold it around his neighbors. The rest is history. 65 years life began. I am here to tell you, you have to have some level of bravery to confront some things you've always not attempted to do. You have to. Post-COVID, you must. Whether you like it or not, Rwampaka, by force, you have to kulemeda ko, as we call it here in Uganda. Hey, you have to be there. Get stuck on your idea. Care, number C. Care. Let me tell you something you didn't know about Ronaldo. Forget about the stories about him not performing very well in Man U. How many of us know Ronaldo? Yeah? Ronaldo. Portuguese, the Portuguese footballer. Not the Ronaldo of Brazil, the older guy, the younger guy currently. We know his story. Number one, we know the story of how he got into being picked. One day he was asked, why are you buying? There's a friend of his who gave him an assist when they were choosing the football young boys to put in the club. So Ronaldo didn't forget this man. And they used to want and see this man, but you don't work. But you have mansions, you live in big places. That's why I said people always believability. They always ask, but this man doesn't work. But how can he own a Mercedes Benz? So the man came back and said, Ronaldo is one who gives me a portion of his salary. Why? Because when we were children and nobody knew us and were important, we were playing in a football club. Two people, one person had to be chosen who had the highest goals. Yes. The man had a chance to score. You go and Google him, it's called Fernandez. This man selflessly passed the ball to Ronaldo because he had a good heart. And you know Ronaldo would go further than him. And Ronaldo that day scored. And Ronaldo knew it in his life that if it was not this boy who had an open chance to score, but said, I am sacrificing it for you, he would not have been who he is. So he gave him a portion of his own salary. Wow. Yes! True story. It's called Fernandez. Google, find the homework. But one thing about Ronaldo, how does he care for himself but other people? That is him caring for other people. Number two, this man, he was selfless. Number two, Ronaldo sleeps like a fetus. Correct? The best posture to sleep in as a human being is that posture of a fetus. We know a fetus. It's when you see it coiled like in that shape. He cares for himself. No wonder he does things mysterious at his age. He's 38 years. But it is said he's performing like a 17-year-old boy. Because of the way he cares for himself. The way he cares for himself. Number two, this man eats a diet of fiber only. Certain times. Even the bed sheets he sleeps in, even the positioning of the light entering his room, he practices 3 hours extra after everybody else has finished practicing. No wonder he's that good. If he jumps to head a ball to score, you can see the performance, the heights he jumps. People are wondering, man, who is this person? He cares for himself. He knows what to do at the right, but he also cares for others. Confidence. How many of us have heard of the legend called Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
I told you I did my homework. I had to bring examples of people who I know you know. The boxer. This young man, he's called the world's greatest. At age 18, he won the World Boxing Heavyweight Championship through an Olympic medal, gold medal. Whatever this man did afterwards, he has been ranked by ISPN the boxing sportsman of the 21st century. His fight Thriller in Manila and the Rambo in the Jungle in Congo here, DRC, was watched by over 1 billion people in the 70s. He made a landmark that no one has ever done. I call him the Master Signature Initiative Initiator.
I was born by then.
You were born by then, yes sir. He said, and I quote, "Impossible is a word said by small men." Impossible. It is said when he was asked by reporters, "What makes you special? Why are you so powerful? What do you do in the ring?" He said, "I declare to myself that I either suffer the pain of practice and then celebrate triumph, or I do nothing about my exercise and training routines and I remain forgotten." He is a legend, undisputed. Not many people know he was a poet. He was also very good at music. Actually, he won 2 Grammy Award nominations. He didn't win. Cassius Clay, he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. I don't want to go in the other story why he changed the name. Yes? But he changed the name to Muhammad Ali. Very intelligent man. I call him in my book, Out of the Crowd, the Initiative Initiator. Very powerful, confident. D, as I wind up, dependability. Be dependable. People, come on. How many of us make promises and break them?
I don't.
Okay, how many of us make even any promises? All of us make promises. Be dependable, because you're only as good as your word. Okay, how many people do we know in our communities who make promises but never deliver? Always they have constants and they are consistent in breaking promises.
I have some answers. I see some people raising hands.
There are some people raising hands. You know the light is hammering in my eyes. I can't see them. They are politicians. I don't know. I didn't say. It is you who say it. Anyways, bottom line, we respect every profession, whichever way they come. Be dependable. Who is the person who is dependable? They under promise but over deliver. Correct? Hey, over promise? No, under promise but over deliver. When you say you'll do something tomorrow, do it the same day. Then people will say, wow. Let me tell you, people want to surround with dependable people. If you're a person who doesn't keep your promises, people will not associate with you. Yes sir. Thank you, sir. Drive. How many of us know Moses Golola? Moses Golola.
The one who looks at you and you come
You only know that one. He said he's the only one who can pocket while he's naked. He even says you can never temper the hot temper. He's the only one who Kabale Hills looked at and they trembled. He's the only one who can climb an MTN line. Even when he was born, he ran away from the hospital and came back and his mother said, "Golola, where are you from?" You heard all those statements. This man has drive, people. You can think he has already won because of the words he talks before he enters the ring. Moses Golola. Moses Golola, Moses Golola. This guy has popularized the kickboxing sport in Uganda. He's passionate. The man has drive. If you want to catalyze initiative, I'm not saying say the words he says, but have that drive like him. The man has charisma. When the man begins talking, people say, wow, who is this man who has arrived today? They say charisma will take you up, but character will keep you there. I believe he's maintained his character. Whatever he has said, he will do. So have that drive, self-drive, dexterosity. Be dexterous. I'm winding up, what a note. D, dexterosity. Dexterosity. Be dexterous. The word dexterosity means having that special spark in you, because we're talking about initiative. That spark, that brings different things of growth and progress about you. I've come across some people wherever they go, they create conflicts. Have you come across such people? They will find fault at anybody. Even the man at the gate, even the Boda man who passed has a fault. They will. You people are joking. You've not come across. Me, I've come across very many. Those people are negative. They will never find anything good about anybody. In their vocabulary, me, I run away from those people like a plague. I flee. Why? Because the more you surround yourself, they say you're as good as your company. If you hang around 10 idiots, you become the 11th, whether you like it or not. If you hang around 10 prostitutes, even your tendencies and characters tend to appear, even if you're not. So what is your company? What is your environment? I'll give you a story of Albert Einstein. This man did not speak until he was 4 years. How many of us know Albert Einstein? The scientists. That man is a Nobel physics winner. He invented the theory MC squared of relativity. Now it is so complex even for big professors to understand. But what it says in simplicity, it's about gravity, gravitational pull, and progressions. I also don't understand those things. But this man, it has been said, he's one of the most intelligent people that ever lived on earth. He did not speak until he was 4 years old. So people thought he was stupid, he was a laggard. Children speak at how many of us are mothers here? How old do children speak? Begin to speak? 4 months. How old? Speaking some words, mama, tata.
8 months.
That is speaking also. 6 months. There are some rare ones who do 6. Special ones. But
those are sounds, not words.
No. A word tata and mama is a word, my brother. It's a word. That is speaking. You utter. They may not understand what it means, but they have utterance. Correct?
Yeah.
This man did not speak until he was 4 years old. So they thought the man is laggard, is stupid, you know. But the first words he spoke is, "Mom, the soup is hot." At 4 years.
He was studying.
So they asked the man all along what is happening, because they took him to all doctors to check the man. They said, this one, sorry, the man is dumb. The boy, 4 years, he said, "Mom, the soup is hot." So they asked him, "Why weren't you speaking all along?" He said, "I had no reason to speak." Why? Because he was studying and observing everything about him. No wonder he discovered this theory of MC squared. Today, Elon Musk is using it to conquer another planet called Mars. His formulas. Very intelligent man. So that man was dexterous. Sometimes people may see something in you and say, that one is finished. But remember, dexterosity comes from within you. Why? Because there are certain things about initiative that you and only you can do. So lastly, or second last, is exposure. Who is exposed? Trust me, even if you're educated how many degrees, a person who is exposed is by far better off than you. I would recommend a book. The title is called "Why Is That Idiot Rich and I Am Not?" It's a book title. I've not made it up. The author is called Robert Shemin. What does it say? Summarized is that you're only as good as your environment and your exposure. Why? A person who is exposed can make decisions quicker than a person who is not. You're not timid. So how do you expose yourself? Reading books, reading papers, watching documentaries. How many of us watch documentaries on TV? National Geographic, different documentaries about different things. It is good to always be informed and be exposed. True, it helps you. It also builds your pedigree. I'm winding up, people, don't worry. I'm winding up.
What's your exposure?
Exposure.
What do you mean exposure as well?
Exposure is having that swift, apt, knowledgeable mind. You're informed. You're a person who is informed. Hey, you know things that are happening. You're moving on. Read journals, newspapers, watch documentaries, Also connect with people. Like even Rotary gives you exposure. In a big way, by the way. I'm not just saying it to flatter. True. I've been in many Rotary clubs. It gives you exposure. You meet people. People share ideas. And one thing I respect about Rotarians is you have solidarity. Hey! A hand clap. Clap for that. Solidarity. Wherever you go, even if you went to Kenya, anywhere you will travel and find another Rotarian, they will host you for a month. Zero bill.
They're like smokers.
Somebody said they're like smokers. They smoke and share everywhere. Okay, as we move on, I love the story of Socrates. When I was writing my first book, Out of the Crowd, I researched 100 people in the world, different fields, philosophers, military, sports organizations, even went as far as the Bible. I researched 100 people from far back to the Middle Ages, from Middle times. I came back contemporary times, the 19th century, 17th century, to see what is it that made these people distinct. All the 100 people, and I tell you the truth, is I realized 7 secrets about all these people, different times. Aristotle, I cannot mention them, the Muhammad Alis I talked about earlier, all those people, what distinguished them from everybody else in the world? I came across information that Socrates was a very interesting philosopher, young man. When he walked, emperors, colosseums of his time would stand up for him when he spoke. He was a public speaker and a great orator. But one thing that distinguished him about everybody else in his time is he had a very open mind. Open mind is he always believed he did not know. One time the Delphi oracle told him, Socrates, you're the wisest man of our time. He said, I don't believe you. There are better philosophers who have done bigger things. Why? His mind was always willing to learn something new from everybody. Now, I'll tell you, most people who move ahead are people who connect with everybody. You find them meeting with the Boda guys. You find them that time with the Askari. These are the Askari Boda guys that tells you, hey, Mosei, you know that this person is selling the plot of land and he's selling at only 20 million, yet the actual value is 200 million. Are you willing to come and we talk? You can't even get it at 5 million. If you deposit even 2 million, you'll get it. But now, you're hi, you don't greet people on the channel. Things are happening and you're not aware. That is also exposure. I'm not saying do it, I'm just saying learn from it. As I wind up, always be enterprising. Have an enterprising spirit. What is an enterprising spirit? The last E. Being a person who sees opportunities. These are skills you train yourself over time. Remember I said, me when I came I saw G-nuts. They were so sweet. I said, now suppose I begin supplying all schools. Schools have just opened up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suppose I do these sweet G-nuts and I price each G-nut. You know those buveras, they burn. How much capital do I need to start with? 50,000. I go, I supply all the major schools. I put a branded name on top there. And I put my name. And I say dash international, and I supply those schools. Don't you think I can make a profit?
Yes.
Now, sometimes opportunities open for those that are open-minded and their eyes are open to see them. It is entrepreneurs who see. It is Thomas Edison who says, and I quote as I'm winding up, that in a pile of junk, there in the middle lies treasure. I'll repeat. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, said that in a pile of junk, therein lies treasure. It is true, gold never grows or is seen on the surface. Diamonds are always under the earth. How many of us know pearls? I love pearls. My late mom used to wear pearls. Pearls are, ladies know pearls. We call them enkwanzi in our language. Beads, okay, they're like beads, but they're pearls. Not beads, they're pearls.
Precious.
They are precious. These pearls are found in a shell at the bottom of an ocean. At the bottom, they are never on the surface. So precious. So, in being entrepreneurial, sometimes you have to draw out yourself. I leave you with this quote as I close. I've really closed this time. Yes, I've really closed. It is said by Isaac Newton. He said that if at all I've seen far, it is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. How many of us know Isaac Newton? Yes, he was the inventor of the laws of motion. He discovered gravity. It is also said he discovered calculus. Ladies and gentlemen, My name is Richard Mwebesa, the award-winning author of 3 titles, Out of the Crowd, Inspired by 40, and Thistle of the Nile. I am a poet as well. I just released my 3rd book of poems. I have copies at the back. My first book is only 50,000 shillings, but because of Rotary, I've sliced the price. True story, to 30. Special for you because of Mr. Amata, who invited me here. He met me presenting at the club of Naguru, and he said, come and talk to us. My 2nd book is called, my 3rd book, sorry, Thistle of the Nile of poems. How many of us love poetry? Poetry? Okay. Yes. It's only 20,000. I usually charge it 30,000. We'll have copies at the back. So thank you so much. You can Google my name, Richard Mwebesa. I'm on Google. You can get my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, africanbooks.com. Aristoc also has copies. Those of you who are online, please go support me, look at my content, my work, and support me, support me, support me. I appreciate you. I work for Britam, my full-time job. We do insurance. If you want to buy insurance, you can always reach out plot 24A, ACABA Road. These titles are these are the covers, so you can always pick them. We have some copies, a few copies at the back, but you can also get copies in Aristoc bookstores. I thank you so much. I've spent so much time, but I believe it was worth it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moderate the question session, please. Head of action for
my lecturer used to tell me that if there are no questions, it means 2 things. It's either all sense or nonsense.
Ruth.
So please, we need questions.
Go comment.
Bring questions, please. Mine will be the last. Yes.
Thank you.
We shall take 2.
Disturbs me a lot. One is most of the times we know what is good. Most of the times we know how to get it. Like you have said, you told us most of these things we know. But somehow we end up not doing them. For someone who has been in this space for some time and you've told people and you've taught and shared these lessons, what is the best advice you'd give to us to ensure that what we know and what we've learned, we can stop, like someone in the back has said, how we can stop self-sabotaging? Thank you very much.
Do I answer or take all the questions and answer?
We shall take 2. The second question? Yes, please. My question is, there's a very thin line between being believable, because in most times if you're to be believable, you might not be able to take risks because people won't believe you anyway. For example, if you, like you say, I can give you $1,000 at this time, it might not be believable, but then with my hope that I can give you. So, you know, most of the times when the inspiration people are telling us, they're saying be believable so that everyone around you can believe that you can afford fuel and everything, but then take risks, and then risks make you very unbelievable.
online. It's going to.
Yes, so like how do you get to balance that, being believable and then to risk?
All right. Thank you. Let me take the 2. Thank you, sir. What is your name, sir?
Pitson.
Pitson. Then the lady? Sorry? Blessing.
Blessing.
Awesome. I'll go with Pitson first. As I said, these things we all know. We've always seen them. One of the hardest things to do is self-disruption. What is self-disruption? I also didn't mention I'm a life coach. So I meet a number of people who I converse with. Something that looks like very obvious for you to do. Self-disruption is like self-surgery. Like you're getting tweezers and you're cutting yourself. Have you ever got a wound or been pricked by a thorn? And you find it so difficult to remove it yourself, but when someone picks it in 2 seconds, it's already out. One of the things I mentioned, I'll quote the quote again of Isaac Newton. If at all I've seen first because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. You can never do it alone, my brother. You need to have what we call an accountability partner. Who's an accountability partner? A person who will brutally tell you the truth.
Okay.
That it is just this, you're lazy, wake up, do it, and keep pushing you and inspiring you. Now, finding such people is not impossible, it is possible. You have to find a person who you're willing to listen to, because at the end of the day, in between you will disagree and you will lose the friendship. When it comes to accountability partnerships, it is hard talk, what we call brutal love. Yes, they tell you honestly, you've not done this, they check on you. They put performance appraise on you. No stories. You know, here in Uganda, where people are very modest, we fear to lose friendships. When I come and tell you a brutal thing, you say this man hates me. Oh, this man is a bad person. Because they are saying the truth. They say truth, that's what? Hurts. So find an accountability partner. A person you know who will not judge you. Who will not take it personal. Yes? Who will segregate between personality but actually help you improve and grow. That one I will not tell you go here or there. You have to look in your ecosystem, either your hobbies, your friends, your wife, spouse, whichever. Yeah? Find that person who you can confide in, and you know there are people with a good heart. You know, there are some people who will wait for you and say, I've been waiting for him, he has now asked. Then they download in 1925, your grandfather did this, in 1930. I'm not saying such. You have to find your element. Hope I've answered you, sir. Ma'am, believability. It's a very delicate balance. It's just like cupping a butterfly in your hands. You know, when you hold it too tight, you crush it. When you hold it too lightly, it will fly away, isn't it? So you have to find that delicate balance. But one of the key things you need to do is you have to lock out the noise of everybody else. I will tell you, self-sabotaging comes from the environment as well. When you tell a person, I have $1,000, I want to invest in a unit trust, or I want to put it in a government bond, the first thing they will tell you is it is impossible. Oh, no one has ever done it. Hey, you're going to lose your money. Oh, these people are cheats. How many of you have sought counsel or advice from someone and all you hear is, my friend, you're finished. Tomorrow, my friend, so they always give you noise. Number two, ma'am, pay attention. Eye contact. You ask the question. Number two, before you do anything, always be self-aware. In my book, chapter 1, Out of the Crowd, I said, in the 100 people I researched, the very first thing I came across, all the great people, by the way, they were very ordinary. They were not special that they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. No. They were very ordinary. Regular people. One is they were self-aware. They were distinguished by an authentic identity. First of all, they asked 3 questions. 1, who am I? Know who you are. Know your weaknesses. Yeah? So that you can leverage your strength. Because you're only as strong as your weaknesses. That's life, isn't it? I'll repeat that. Did we get it? You're only as strong as your weaknesses. You're only as fast as your slowness. Am I making sense? You're only as swift as your laziness. You're only as agile as your passiveness. I'm now wearing the coach's hat. Hey, so first of all, find out who you are. If you're a person who is hot-tempered, don't just go do certain things, certain places. You will fail. Someone will say something small, then you make a wrong decision out of emotion, and you fail. Am I making sense?
Yes.
I've struck a nerve. Hey, I've struck a nerve.
Okay. In the interest of time, we are taking only 2 more. One from you, one from me. One online. Okay. Read it.
Solomon, he's put it offline.
Okay. Any other question? Yes, please.
Does it really work well in African and Uganda's setup? You know, you must be confident. Confidence. You know, when like if you want to do something or to become like maybe an MP, you know, when you show your confidence, people may not take you seriously. Yeah, I think so. Does it work in Uganda's setup?
Yes.
Like you are an engineer.
You are an engineer.
No, sometimes they may say she's proud.
No.
No, she does this. So I think it depends on the society and how you bring those words which you want to portray, your confidence. So that is my worry.
Okay. The second one, is there any other I take on?
Take on.
Okay, I love the presentation and is it okay? There's borrowing time?
It's okay. Sergeant, we are requesting for 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes.
Have you accepted? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, accepted. You've taught us a lot from other people, Albert, Golola. I would love to learn from you. What are the particular challenges you've gone through? Your particular moments that you think we can learn from? I love learning from these other people. What is those key things that have made you very successful other than things? You're part of
my own story. Authenticity. You know, they say motivators talk, but
and with
hot
all
air,
that,
they
I'll
leave you
hand
paper.
over to the president who will call in the person to give a vote of thanks. Thank you.
I'll answer quickly because of time. Ma'am, what is your name?
Blessing.
Blessing. No, her. Engineer. Wow, you're an engineer. Wow. Civil. Yes, engineer is engineer. Ha, my friend. So it easy to be an engineer. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Mastula, confidence is something that comes from within. But it blossoms and buds from without. I don't want to sound philosophical. I'll repeat. It is something that comes from within. It is a seed. And some people in coaching or in whatever you call it a virtue. Hello? It's a virtue. A virtue. Now, this is something that you cultivate as a seed from within. Now, let me give you the science of a seed. I'm not a scientist, I'm an artist. But the science of a seed is that a seed dies first before it germinates. Correct? If you plant a fresh seed, what it will do is it will rot. Correct?
Yes.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
So you have to plant a dry, dead seed. Now, there are three things that enable this seed to grow or germinate. Number one, it must be in the correct soil. Number two, it must have the right atmosphere environment. Number three, it must have the right supply of water. Correct? If it is in the wrong soil, in the wrong environment, but has the right water, it will die, it will not germinate. So all the three forces have to be working together to make it happen. Am I making sense? So coming back to confidence, it starts as a seed within here. As I said, one of the key things is your environment. If you're surrounding yourself with people who tell you art is so hard, it has never happened, it cannot happen. If you're listening to noise and music or words or narratives of naysayers, we call them naysayers, it cannot work, it's so hard, you will never be able to grow that confidence. Number two, you need to have what they call introspection. You have to have a conversation with yourself. Sometimes people call it the mirror effect. You wake up every morning at 5. I wasn't going to say what I was going to say because I'm recorded. I have to watch my language. But how many of us know every time at 5 a.m.? How many of us wake up as early as 5? 3. Wow. How many know that it is hard for you to wake up at 5 than wake up at 3?
It's hard.
It is harder.
Yes.
I will tell you why. It is harder. You know why? Because your body is conditioned to feel that you can get an extra 5 minutes. Okay, how many of us set alarms when we're sleeping? How many of us hear them and you say, let me take another 5 minutes? Let me take another 10 minutes. It is still too early. Am I making sense? You keep giving yourself more time. Now that is one of the things that kills your confidence. I'll do it tomorrow. No. I still have time. By the time you know it, you're 60, You're older and you're unable to catch up on it. Nike, how many of us know Nike? We know Nike. The sports organization does shoes, sportswear. Their tagline is just do it. The moment it happens and it comes in your mind, just do what? Do it there and then. Don't procrastinate. In my book, I researched chapter number 4. One of the biggest initiative killers is called complacency. Complacency has a twin brother called indifference. And indifference has a cousin brother. Yeah? Has a cousin brother called what? Procrastination. Now, by definition, complacency is I've arrived. I did it, I can do it before. Now, when you think you've arrived, you'll keep failing. You know why? Because you never challenge yourself to get better. Japanese use a formula called kaizen. Kaizen means small micro incremental wins every moment you do something. Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Outlier, he has a concept called the 10,000 hour rule. He says that anything you do for more than 10,000 hours, you become proficient at it. There is no perfection. Otherwise, if there was perfection, people are not going to other planets. When people went to the moon, they said, ha, achieved. But now, Elon Musk is going to Mars. Correct? You become proficient. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. Engineer, I've answered you, I hope. Thank you. My story, where's the lady? She has disappeared. Come on, I need to see you face to face. You've asked the question. I'm a teacher as well. I consult and lecture at the Insurance Training College. I'm also a researcher. So, because I teach, I need to... Yes, that's how things enter. Yes, true, it is said, if someone does not see the white part of your eye, they will never trust you. Yeah. Number last. The best sound in the whole world in a human ear, pay attention to this. The best sound anywhere you come from in the world in a human ear is the sound of someone's name. Psychologists know it, yes. That's why when they're engaging the first time, they always mention repeatedly the name of someone, the first name. Lastly, Dale Carnegie in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he said, and I quote, that every human being under the sun has a universal need, and that need is to be made feel important. My story. I'll summarize it. I'm not going to claim that I'm very successful. I'm not yet. One of the key constants about me is that I have failed too many times, and because of the too many failures, there are some wins, but when I look at the wins, there are too many around me than anyone else, so all they see is success. Am I making sense? I don't want to sound philosophical again. Am I making sense? Eh?
Yes, you are.
What I'm saying is, I keep doing things over and over and over, and I try many things. So I fail, I learn. Sometimes I win, most times I lose. I keep on moving. Yeah? So my story, I've done a number of things. I'm making 40 years this year. I'm entering the 4th floor. I may look older or younger. Some people say I look younger. Yeah? But it is said before you reach the 4th floor, you're in your prime. Yeah? So you must have made... Okay, let me frame it this way, ma'am. There are some things if a 40-year-old man or woman does, the world will never forgive you. You know why? Because you're a person who is now mature. Yeah? True. But if someone who is 25 did something, people will say, but he's still young. He will learn and improve. So in my life, I made very many mistakes. Now, at my age, one thing God gave us, because I believe in God, He created us. Whether you like it or not, believe it or not, Him, He created you. He created me. One thing He did is when you're younger, you're less wiser. Yes, but you're more agile, you're more efficient. You can do things quickly. You can even wonder where is the energy coming from. But the older you get, things begin to slow down for you because age is catching up on you, but you become wiser. So in my book, I framed a concept called make calculated risks, so that even when you fail, you don't become oblivious. My story. I have an MBA. Thank God my parents took me to school. I work with Britam. I've risen through the ranks to now acting general manager in the business development. So I do sell. So one thing I've learned in selling is that you'll be rejected 20 times before you make the first or second sale. People will take you for granted. They will promise, never deliver. They will say, we'll work with you. Others will genuinely want to support you. Some may not have the capacity or capability. My thing I've learned is never take it personal. Why? The more you take it personal, you feel hurt and you feel disappointed in people. Yet, it is the very same people that you can never do without, and they're the ones who are also willing to open doors for you. That's what I've learned. So when I went to school, tried to do insurance sales, I almost gave up. Then I said, okay, anyway, let me stay in. Started working, then authored, then got married. I've done a few things here and there. But I think for me, one of the key things that I always wanted to do is to be myself and authentic. I knew that I was an artist, never a scientist. So things like movies, music, writing, poetry, I understand those things easily. I mean, being qualified, I don't have to stress too much. They come naturally to me. So now, as parents, when children are growing up, look at their tendencies so that we help nurture them. Some of them may be liking this and gravitating towards something. Help them discover themselves early so that the mistakes they make are fewer. I would have been far. Lastly, I always learn every day. One thing that has kept me where I am is to always believe that I don't know. As a matter of fact, the more you learn, the more empty you feel. You know why? Because knowledge has something to do with purity. It beats you down, it takes away that pride you have inside you thinking you're better than everybody else. Ultimately, it makes you humble. So if you keep humble, people will want to work with you because they believe that you're genuine and you are authentic. Ma'am, I've tried. I hope I've answered. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Now we can get a vote of thanks from Pipi Esther.
Thank you, President. Richard, this has been a very, very nourishing, would be even an understatement. Because what he has talked to us, we all imagined we knew it, and he delivered it with a lot of simplicity, and it touched all of us. I'm sure you are now ignited. No more self-sabotage. You can now live your dreams with a lot of agility, dependability, inspiration, confidence. Richard, you have touched us all. And as a custom and tradition here in our club, in the Rotary Club of Ntinda, we have a certificate of appreciation. So that also when you look at it, you know you planted a seed here. And I'm sure the results will be out soon. Here is this certificate. Thank you so much. And it's a certificate. Can I have everybody upstanding? Yes. He's a very good fellow. He's a very good fellow. And so say all of us. And so say all of us. And so say all of us. He's a very good fellow. He's a very good fellow. He's a very good fellow. And no one can deny. Thank you very, very much.
Most humbled, I didn't expect a certificate. I'm going to hang this one.
Yeah.
People online is here, you've seen it. Thank you so much.
Richard,
all.
you need a photo though.